Well, welcome to the Transfer News Show. Ivan Toney, Jesus' perfect competitor at Arsenal. Do you agree with me? I'm going to really break this story from one of the Arsenal legends. They're going to hate to advise Mikel Arteta to sign Ivan Toney to come out and compete with Gabriel Jesus. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you? Hope you guys are really having a fantastic night, evening, morning, depending on where you're watching us from. In my country, it's already the 5th of August, and I hope you guys are really doing great, and we're here to bring you these stories. Willian is a big story. Shocking. Having agreed a deal with Fulham, he's now gonna head to agree personal terms with the side of Saudi Arabia, and he might be playing in Saudi Arabia next season. And lastly, we are going to obviously talk a little bit about Pogba, one of those players that promised so much for the game of football and obviously delivered less than what we expected from the player. But let's see close to 400 likes. Smash on this video, continue to subscribe to this channel so as we hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month of August. Now we thank God for the gift of life, and my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum, welcome back from the Juma Kareem, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's start it off from Jermaine Pena. If I told you Jermaine Pena, that means you've just started supporting Arsenal recently. Jermaine Pena was one of the Arsenal players that really played at Arsenal. He was part of the Invincible team, and he was really sold to Portsmouth from Portsmouth. He signed for Liverpool and was part of that Brandon Rodgers Liverpool team that obviously lost a trophy to Chelsea after Steven Gerrard slipped and Demba Ba went ahead and obviously scored that goal for Chelsea. That is the guy. Now, as it stands, we're here to bring you the best as it stands, and here we come in peace with this story coming in from Jermaine Pena. I think Ivan Toney would be a good singing. I think Ivan Toney would be a good signing for Arsenal. His work rate and creativity is excellent, so I think he would be a great addition if they were to bid for him. The midfield for Arsenal is sorted, but I think they need a striker who can score 15 to 20 goals. Now, on this, I agree with Jermaine Pena and disagree with him at a certain extent. One thing I agree with him is that they need another striker. For that, I agree. Why? When you look at Arsenal, when Jesus is off like he is, and is going to be out for 3 weeks, confirmed, when you bring in Balogun or Edin Ketia, it's really a downgrade. That is it. It's a very huge downgrade from the quality of Gabriel Jesus to the quality of Edin Ketia. To be factual, Edin Ketia is not even halfway the quality that Jesus brings on the field of play. That is it. And for that, I agree with him that Arsenal should get in a striker like Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney is a different kind of striker altogether from Gabriel Jesus. And if at all you were a team to compete in this league, you need strikers with different capabilities. Not so? And one of those that has different capabilities from all of the strikers at Arsenal is Ivan Toney. The way he presses, his intensity, the way he obviously scores his goals. And remember, last season he put up very many goals a season, and you'll understand that he'll obviously put Gabriel Jesus onto pressure to see it that he obviously scores very many goals at Arsenal. And this is what I've always told you, that a striker like Ivan Toney, 27 years of age, going into his first season, scoring 20 goals and 4 assists is obviously very, 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 very important in I think this is his second season in the Premier League. Not so, because the first season he kept them in the league, and this season he kept them in the league. But the problem is he's banned until January. He was banned for 6 months without playing football because of betting in there for you. Now, when you look at this guy, he's good. And I've agreed with Jermaine Pena on Arsenal bringing in a different striker altogether than what they have. For that, I agree with him. But where do we disagree? That the reason of bringing in Ivan Toney is for him to score 20 goals a season. You know, Ivan Toney has been at Brentford and scoring 20 goals. He has scored 20 goals for his first season in Brentford. The first season he never scored 20, but I think had like 14. This season he managed to score 20. But I don't agree with people who say that Jesus cannot score 20 goals a season. That is it. I believe he can score those goals. He can score 20 goals a season, and I believe in him. And it's all about Arsenal increasing their creativity. If Arsenal do increase their creativity, then they will see the best of Gabriel Jesus, because I want to see Jesus given close to 3 to 4 chances in a game, clear cut, like you see Haaland in there for you, misses them, then I will say he cannot score those goals. But how many chances does Arsenal create for Gabriel Jesus? Because this is a man who goes ahead to score most of his goals as he creates something from nothing, meaning that the creativity of Arsenal needs to increase. But I think Ivan Toney would be a very good signing for Arsenal in the January transfer window. Why? If they are to go in for him before his suspension, Ivan Toney would have costed £100 million. That is it, because even his boss, called Thomas Frank, said that he's worth £100 million. But having been suspended and is not going to be playing football for some 6 months, returning in January, I think Arsenal can get him on a cheap, like £40 million, £50 million. And that means they can obviously get the money they're going to have to sell, sorry about that, Balogun, and then they get in Ivan Toney. But I think Ivan Toney will be a sensational signing for Arsenal, and I think most of you agree with us, because he's a different striker altogether. He brings in the energy, especially when playing teams like Man City. You can bring him in to bowl the likes of Ruben Diaz, Vadio, Ekanji, and so on and so forth, the John Stones of this world, and obviously gets Arsenal the best that they deserve as a team. So to me, I look at it as a very, 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 very positive signing, and I agree with Jamin Pena on getting him in. Now, leaving that story there, let's talk about Willian. Willian is really a very hard guy to deal with. Now, exclusive Saudi side Al Shabab approached Fulham winger Willian with formal bid, as they have concrete interest. Willian signed a new Fulham deal 10 days ago, but Al Shabab are insisting, and the player is now speaking to the club about the proposal. Now, Willian agreed a deal with Fulham. He renewed his contract after they agreed that they're going to give him £100,000 a week. And Al Shabab was going to hate to come in through with some big offer. I think they're offering him ×2, and he's willing to leave Fulham. Arguably, he was the best Fulham player last season. People are talking about Mitrovic, but for me, Willian was always the game changer and was always the difference in those games that Fulham went ahead to play very many times. Now, we wait and see whether he's going to allow this to happen, and obviously Marco Silva is going to allow him to leave. But I know the Brazilians, they're money oriented. Most of them, South Americans, they're really money oriented, and they're obviously pushing for this. And he's a very good player that they're going to miss. But the beauty of this is they can get in some good money, like £20 million from Willian, and they can use that amount of money to get in a replacement for this player as soon as possible for the Fulham side. And you will all know that money beats Gonza, and Fulham will cash in because they got him on a free. If they get like 10, 15, 20 million pounds from him, that will be a very huge bargain. Remember, for him to put pen to paper to a new contract, they got him some sign-on fee like 3, 4, 5 million pounds, meaning that we're going to have to get that money back to it that this guy obviously stays, or this guy goes to Saudi Arabia, and they get in his replacement. But he's a very, very good player that you would obviously want to have, and Arsenal fans don't really want to see him or gaze at him or glance at him because of what a season he gave them that really looked bad, that led to what we call a mutual agreement that led to termination of his contract at Arsenal. That is Willian Borges. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But stories that have gone ahead to come in through right now from Fabrizio Romano indicate that he has gone ahead even to agree personal terms, meaning that the next thing is to see a bid coming in through from Al Shabab, a Saudi-based side, to Fulham, and obviously get things over the line. that is it coming in from the side of Fulham and Saudi Arabia. So wait and see how that really pans out. Now, Pogba. Some others had news coming in from a very credible Juventus website, revealing to us that it's looking increasingly likely that Paul Pogba will miss Juventus' first Serie A match of the season at Udinese on 20th August. Now, Pogba, you know, they are players that are really talented, but after failing to control their lifestyle, they've gone ahead to be having long-lasting injuries. As he grew up, he never had these injuries. By the time Manchester United bought him from Juventus back for £90 million, he never had an injury. That is Paul Pogba. No injury. But I think what really ruined his career was the physio team of Manchester United that failed to deal with his injury, especially that ankle injury has been part of his career, ever since he returned at Manchester United. But at Juventus, he was okay. He was a player who used to play 30, 40, 50 games a season. But at Man United, I don't remember a season where Pogba played 30 games. I don't really remember a season like that, because he has been on and off. Comes, you play some 10 games, misses out 8. He comes back, plays 3, 5, 6. He goes back. So that is the worst bit of it. And having signed for Juventus last summer on a free, I think he played for them like how many games? Let me even check. I want to be on record that I've not gone ahead to obviously say something that is not part of the records, because even when he came back, he fall to an injury and saw himself go back. Now, Paul Pogba, he played 6 Serie A games last season, right? And the previous season had played 8 Premier League games. No, he had played 20 Premier League games for Man United, 2022. So he played 3 games in the UEFA Europa League. So he only played 10 games last season. You get 10 games only, and they're paying him a lot of money. That is Paul Pogba. So I think if I was Paul Pogba, I would have considered to obviously leave and go to Saudi Arabia and get in money. That is it. If at all he gets in some good money, let him really end his career that side. But will he pass the medical? That is the big question, because even Juventus, having been disqualified from the Conference League, never qualified for the Champions League, they have penalties to pay. They've told him to take a pay cut if at all he wants to sell the club of Juventus. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But it really looks really ugly for the French international Paul Pogba. Now, your thoughts on to Ivan Toney, Jesus' perfect competitor at Arsenal, are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think Jamin Penar is right? What do you make about Willian going to Saudi Arabia 10 days after signing a contract with Fulham? And lastly, what do you make about Paul Pogba and his injury concerns that are going to see him miss the start of the season for Juventus? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. It has been the Transfer News Show. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. See you later in a Gifi.